You are listening to Knackers in the Breeze, the podcast, with your hosts, Ryan and Barry.
Would you rather have cheddar cheese for knees, or a talking dog that only speaks in Portuguese? Or to make yourself feel really dry, would you towel dry between your thighs, or dangle out your knackers in the breeze?
Welcome to episode 27 of Knackers in the Breeze, the podcast with me, Ryan.
And me, Barney.
Barney. You're not Big Baz anymore.
Big Baz, actually, yeah, Big Baz.
Big Barney.
Barney doesn't sound... Big Barney.
You've had a Big Barney and now you decided to change your name.
Big Purple Barney. That's what I'm called now.
Episode 27.
Same age as...
Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, Hendrix. Janis Joplin. Have I made that up?
Kurt Cobain.
Sid Vicious.
Nelson Mandela. Jedward.
Leonardo da Vinci.
All true facts. Yeah.
Pavarotti. 27 stone.
Yeah, oh, topical.
He died 4 years ago, that's topical.
We are the podcast that attempts to achieve philosophical enlightenment by answering hypothetical questions sent in by listeners and other podcasts.
And we're there. We're nearly there. Are we? Do you feel philosophically enlightened?
It's been a while since... When was the last one? Early in the month.
Is it a case of you have to do the podcast to stay enlightened?
Yeah, maybe.
So
maybe.
if you are enlightened, and then it dips.
I think I come out of it. I was like fully enlightened, and now it's been a while. I'm like, what's enlightenment?
And then after this, you'll float out.
Yeah,
in a golden light.
Yeah, and then another day I'll fall back to earth. And
enlightenment is just an idea that can't be expressed with words.
I'll explain it to the paramedics.
Speaking of lights, should we turn the lights down?
Can you? Do you have a dimmer?
No.
Or do you want to turn them off?
I actually don't have a dimmer, so forget what I've just said. Hey, let me see. If I take these ones off.
The lights are on, but no one's home. It's all right, yeah. Yeah, try it. Let's see if I can see you.
It's garish.
No, that just looks creepy because it's like one of those horror films where you can tell there's a face in the darkness.
Is it really scary?
And then when it's your face, it's even scarier because what the fuck's he going to do?
Is it actually scary? Imagine if I come out, I'm hiding. Is that scary?
Sound like a distant Ricky Gervais.
Shall I put one back on?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's better, I think.
That's quite nice. With the art and it's like a creative hub.
It's quite romantic now, actually.
Okay. Yeah, no, it does feel romantic, actually.
Right, so we answer hypothetical questions sent in by listeners and other podcasts. And we got a question here from Stupid Stuff We Talk About Again.
Hello.
That was the Scottish podcast.
Aye.
That sent us a question last episode, which was, what shape would the chair be if your legs bent the other way?
If you haven't been on social media, good for you, but go on social media now, break your duct, and go on Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, so if you
look for Knackers in the Breeze.
Yeah, if you didn't listen to the last episode, then check out check out the last episode to see what we discussed, and go on Instagram to have a look of the
It's ridiculously
photoshopped
ridiculous. I've sent that picture to people, well, one person, and they were like, are you okay? What's happened? What's going on here? They're like, they didn't know you could do that. What?
Like a severe condition of rickets.
Yeah, that happened overnight. But even I look at it and go, what? It's so well done. It's incredible. It's the best Photoshop job I've ever seen.
Right, so we've got a question in from Stupid Stuff We Talk About, and they ask us,
hello, Knackers in the Breeze podcast. This is Gio from Stupid Stuff We Talk About, a podcast where we talk about all manner of subjects because there are no stupid subjects. Our question to you is this: if you could transform into any animal werewolf style, what would it be and why? If anyone would like to check us out, we're a comedy podcast called The Stupid Stuff We Talk About, also known as your most favourite podcast. Thanks, guys.
I like that question.
so any animal sort of at wish, is it? Or like when the moon is out?
That's good. That is a
Werewolf
very
style.
good point. I took it to mean that you could just choose it.
Yeah, so
or
just
like I was
choose
thinking
it.
more like the Hulk when you get angry, or you just choose it.
Okay, yeah.
But if it's only once a month and the moon's out, does that change it? I don't know. I mean, I know what I'd go for.
I think I know what... Well, I don't know what you would go for, but I know what you
don't.
should be.
You don't.
Okay.
But I don't want to cause harm to anybody.
Okay. No, no.
So I don't become like a bear or a bloodthirsty wolf or anything like that, because that could kill people. So do you know what I would become?
What would you become?
A flea.
A flea?
Yeah.
What?
Because, and hear me out, because imagine if someone's attacking me, you just go, all your clothes rip,
Yeah.
and you shrink down to the size of a flea, and they can't see you, they can't hurt you, you hop off.
I thought you could be like a human-sized flea, and you could I don't know,
No, I'd become
suck their blood or whatever fleas do.
Oh, right, no, that's why you were confused. No, I'd just become a genuine flea, the size of a flea. So
you could jump away onto a cat, and then they
take you off willy-nilly, or you can jump on them.
Okay.
And just ride them for the evening. My point is, it's like a safety mechanism, defense mechanism.
Oh no, you found my one weakness, the shampoo! Ah!
There we go.
You've left the conditioner in for 2 minutes! I want to...
But in that scenario, it's a question I've always thought about this. Why don't the fleas jump out of the
conditioner? Maybe because they're too wet.
Is that
or
stupid?
whatever. Or I'm just thinking of nits.
I don't know.
You
Because
get fleas the same way, don't you?
if I was
Not get fleas, but you combat fleas the same way, don't you?
if I was a guy that transformed into a flea on the full moon, and I jumped on a dog to hitch a ride, and someone put anti-flea conditioner in, I would jump out. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say.
Any fleas listening, this is get in contact if you think that's great advice, or give us any feedback if you think that's incorrect.
Maybe there's a reason why you don't do that. Please let us know. It might be obvious, but I can't see it.
I thought of an animal that you should be. So like growing up with you, anytime we're in a big group or whatever, and there's a very short period of us looking away, you'd always go and hide. But you're always quite shit at hiding. It's kind of like in Scary Movie where he's like hiding behind the couch, like you can see his like legs poking out. So I think you would be a tortoise that thinks it's a chameleon. So you'd be in your shell going, I'm invisible.
Right.
There's Barry over there in his shell.
So would I crawl off and hide, or would I pretty much be where I was?
Pretty much where you were. Or maybe like you'd crawl off behind a sofa or behind some of a car.
Do you know what? I would love it. I think I would love it. I'd be laughing inside the shell at the prospect of being caught, because it makes me giggle. Do you know what I mean? When I know somebody is getting close, or like it's so funny. Yeah, I still do that. I still hide.
I've done that a few times, like because I get home from work before my girlfriend does, so I'll just like go into bed and just do like a shit hide of like put the covers over me. I can see her come in, and she'll just like humour me and just go, oh, where's Ryan? And I'll just be like shaking under the covers like because I know there's genuinely no point doing it. She sees me, she knows I know she sees me.
How old are you?
But we have to go, yeah, 28.
Then I'm not shaming you. I'm just
yeah.
But that's so the idea of shaking in pure happiness and giddiness.
Which, it doesn't help, but gives it away. Otherwise, I was like foolproof.
Well, I'm glad that you do that as well. I am. Because it is very immature. It is really immature. But I would do it if I had kids. I would do it. If there's kids, any kids around me, I will always hide.
Sometimes you do it at work.
Yeah, all the time. Work, toilet, cubicles.
Who's been using all the toilet paper? Hide.
Just start shaking.
Don't need me, I'm shaking. Right, so what would I be? I think it'd be a lot easier to get to work if I was a bird. I wouldn't have to stay in traffic or anything. Not that animals drive.
No.
I think it'd be a lot less effort because I have to drive.
Only if you work nights.
45 minutes commute to work.
Only if you work nights.
If I work nights, there wouldn't be much traffic then, would there?
No, because if you only come out on the full moon.
If I only come out on the
night,
full moon. Maybe I could preempt that, unless it's like a Friday or a Saturday. I could just go, right, it's a full moon. I've got to nip to where the town I work in and just stay there overnight in a nest.
So you wouldn't be a human-sized bird?
So would you just transfer into a bird, can you? Because a werewolf is human-wolf mix, isn't it? But a wolf is a dog mix.
So would you be a massive bird or a
know.
bird-sized bird?
If I could fly, either way, because I feel like if I was a cheetah or something, it's still effort running.
And then somebody would see you, and you'd be
something.
Hunted through the night.
There's not much cheetah hunting in Thanet.
Do you know why there isn't?
Because they're all gone. Because
they hunted all the cheetahs.
Shit.
So
we learned so much in this fucking.
That's
podcast.
why there's no cheetahs. This moment people stop roaming the streets looking for cheetahs, that's when they start coming out again.
If you're a cheetah poacher, get in contact at knackersinthebreeze@gmail.com and tell us about your experiences.
A Southeast England cheetah poacher, did you say?
Yeah, I think so. Was that just ivory and...
Well, no, you might be getting the skins.
Yeah.
Cheetah hides.
Like the carpets, the rugs.
Yeah, cheetah rugs.
Yeah.
There is a thriving cheetah rug market in this part of the world. So maybe...
So when I transform into like a human cheetah breed, you might just see my face as like a rug.
I wonder why I hadn't seen him for a while since the last full moon. He got caught. But you know, I'd be on that rug as a
and
flea.
I'm still alive as the rug, just going, I should have taken the train.
And I'd be in the corner in my shell, shaking. Still haven't sold me on the market.
So if you want to check out answers to questions like that, stupid stuff we talk about podcast every last Sunday or every last episode of the month, they answer listener questions, which they've posed us the chair question and that one, which they've had. So check their answers out as well.
There are no stupid
There are no
questions.
stupid subjects. It's your Mars favourite podcast.
But there are stupid questions on subjects.
There are definitely stupid questions on this podcast, just not on theirs.
Definitely. I've got one here for you. Do you want to hear a stupid question?
Yeah.
So, I don't know what you're going to say to this.
War! What is it good for? Yeah?
What?
Did you want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Did you want us to answer it?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on it when you asked?
I don't think it's good for
posted?
much. It's good for the economy of the country that's involved in the war, unless they're being bombed. It's good for America.
Yeah,
the
good for
war.
America if they're selling it. It's good for
What else is it good for?
establishing border lines.
Yeah. Great for, obviously, weapons manufacturers, obviously. It's great for... What else is it good for? It's good for films and
If you're the
books.
winner and you're invading another country, it's economic benefits.
That's
to
great.
them,
Actually,
yeah.
that's a good one. Like I say, it's really good for art and films because if you wait a couple of years, there's some really good films that come out.
That's why there's a load of crap films now. There's not been enough war.
Yeah, we've still got a while to go.
My mum always like unironically says that. She said we need a good war, Ryan, because she's like paranoid about like the population size and stuff like that. We need a good war and the whole like blitz spirit and stuff. I was like, Mum, if we went to war, I would have to go. And she's like, no, not you. I don't want you to go, but everyone else can.
If she writes a letter just saying, I don't want my boy to go, you
Yeah.
won't have to go.
I'll
Also,
write
can I
to the
just
Prime
say,
Minister.
this is quite sad. I don't think you would be going. No, I don't mean that. I mean, you're too old.
Yeah.
No, you
it's
really
not,
are.
It's not World War One.
You're too old. They don't want a 28-year-old.
I'd like to think I'll be in like the
Do you know what you'd be in?
the commanding office or something.
You'd
rather
be in the communications office.
than, yeah, communications office.
Loser. You would pick up a
Loser,
gun.
but alive.
You would pick up a fucking pencil and not a gun. And I would be down there.
Pen is mightier than the sword,
Well,
my dear friend.
I don't have a sword.
That's why I get a gun, Ryan.
I've got an M4.
Try and draw all over this fucking bullet.
I'll fucking put a bullet, put your name on one of the bullets, and I'll use the pen to put your name on it, and then I'll shoot you. And then, but seriously, war is great for lots of things. It's good for bringing out the best in people. Sometimes it's good for acts of courage.
The Spanish Civil War is always known for like bringing out the best in people.
Oh, the very best, the very best of people. I mean, there's two sides to every story as well. So some people's best might be some others' worst. I don't know.
Sometimes, occasionally.
It's very more complicated than that. I think it's good for what else is good for? People that make uniforms.
Yeah,
So people that sew.
it's good for the unemployed because they finally get a job.
Yeah, that's really good for the unemployed actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really good. What else?
listen up, Liverpool.
What else? That's so offensive. You can't say that. You can't say that. I categorically, for the record, do not support what you just said. What else? It's good for loads of things. What do you think it's good for? What's it bad for? Let's not go down that road. Bad for lots of things.
It's not great for going on holiday. If like,
You're part of the country that's being...
yeah, so if you're like Italy's at war,
Sure.
you can't have a weekend away in Sardinia.
Yeah, that's true. No, but it's not ideal, is it? Because you're trying to sunbathe and you can hear bombs and
Yeah.
explosions and people just generally not happy around
That's
you.
exactly. That's what it's not good for. TripAdvisor reviews.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the real casualty in this war.
Since the dawn of time, two heroes have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of the answers to life's most difficult questions.
If Donald Trump had a theme song, what would that theme song be and why?
What would you guys do if you had to swap bodies for a full week?
Would you rather look like you do now, but have the voice of a small Japanese girl? Or would you rather have your voice and consciousness in the body of a small Japanese girl?
Together from the depths of Earth, they have forged a podcast to defeat the Titan of Uncertainty.
I'd get a hot air balloon, get out, it's nearly inflated, jump in, away it goes.
Into the North Atlantic. My plan is King of the Zombies. If you all kind of work together, you could be an ultimate horde.
Tune in to Ryan and Barry's quest for philosophical enlightenment in Knackers in the Breeze, the podcast.
All right, so this is the feedback section. This is usually our favourite section.
It's ridiculous it's our favourite. It's not our favourite section.
We just like people praising us.
What I prefer more is actually people just calling us out and shit and kicking our ass, basically. There's things we got wrong. And
Did you get called out this week? This episode?
I can't remember. I don't think so. But
can I start with feedback?
Yeah, go for it.
So at work, it got mentioned. It came up in conversation about podcasts. I mentioned that I didn't name drop this podcast per se because I don't want to yet. It's too soon, and because I hadn't had this job for too long. But I did mention, oh yeah, I do one, and if you really want to listen to it, I'll let you know what it's called. And she said, I think it's cool what you do. I won't listen, no, but it's cool. And it was basically the way it was the most, I just felt.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, it's what it was like. It was a shutdown. And I mean, her loss, obviously. Yeah. But it serves you right for trying to reach out.
Yeah.
And trying to share
serves you right for trying to promote yourself.
Be like, well, if you want to listen, I won't tell everyone, but I can share it with you. I think it's cool what you do. I won't listen, no. But it's cool. Just kind of say it like that. It's really patronising. So yeah, there we go. That's a bit of feedback from someone who refuses to listen.
Speaking of Stupid Stuff We Talk About podcast, I pitched to them the question we had a few episodes ago of if you're in a zombie apocalypse, what would be your plan of action?
I got a lot of flack for this.
Would you like to hear their response?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would.
Gio loves Walmart, so he would disappear into a Walmart.
That's right.
In America and just live there for the rest of his life.
Yeah, but see, going off the back of Ryan from Knackers in the Breeze, his missus said that she would go to the old boarding school that she was.
Yeah.
Right, see that?
I do not understand
that's
that.
The worst thing. Can you imagine a strict Catholic zombie? What would be more petrifying than a Catholic zombie?
Get down on your fucking knees.
Give me your brains.
Northern Ireland. I want your fucking brains. Fucking brains. And that's how you do it, I know now. Yeah, man. Get down on the floor.
So that's Jamaican now, right?
That's Jamaican.
Aye.
So Jamaican.
Right. So Ryan's, the other ghost of Knackers and Breeze, he said he would go on a hot air balloon escape.
Yeah.
Right.
Hot air balloon, the worst form of transport that's ever been. Trust air. Who trusts air?
The slowest means of transport.
We're getting away, boys, but at a slow rate. We're losing air.
Ryan, he said that he would strive to become king of zombies, and that's a fucking good idea.
King of the zombies. Aye, but you wouldn't know you're king of the zombies because you've lost all mortality, all mentality of being who you are.
No, but
you wouldn't know you're king of the zombies.
You must know that you're king of zombies. What sort of attire are you going to be wearing that makes you king of zombies?
Zubas, pants, a ribbed shirt, a baseball cap back to front, and that's you. You're fucking king of the zombies. A really good question.
That's a good question, guys.
I didn't even listen to that. Sorry,
I think he made a really good point there. That what would you be wearing? That is a really good point. Do you dress as the king of the zombies before you get killed in order to then become the king of the zombies, or do you post-death, post-zombie birth, don a king outfit?
See, I don't even think you need to be a zombie to be king of the zombies. You could be like, if I become a zombie, I'm going to have the zombie mentality and I won't be able to help you guys as much as if I think like a human, but I'm on your side, guys.
No.
So,
that's like you being a little white fella from southeast England.
Which I am.
Going to Compton in the late 70s.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. Can I be king of your gang? Because I've got the right mentality and I've been studying you from afar. No.
The thing is, in Compton, they weren't trying to like take over the world.
Well,
I mean,
they were with their art.
That's probably the right place to go to and at least try it. Don't wait for them to come to you. You got to, if you can't beat them, join them or become a king of them.
Okay.
So,
all right. Would they be like your slaves, the zombies?
They'd be my slaves. No, they'd be my consultants.
That's ridiculous. Subjects.
My friends.
Your friends.
And love. No, not love.
I knew you were going to say that. Confidence.
Yeah.
There'd be so you tell them all your secrets and they'd go.
Yeah, they'd speak in some sort of like zombie Morse code. So
you'd establish a language with them.
Yeah.
And sort of a whole culture would evolve.
Yeah, probably mix in a bit of sign language as well.
Zombie sign language.
Imagine if zombies could communicate with each other properly. See, they don't even think of this.
That's why you could get done.
King of the Zombs.
That's amazing. They could become so cultured and so civilized. You could you could make them civil again, and they would be like living humans would become the zombies. They'll become
so civilized that you wouldn't even be able to spot a human from a zombie.
Mate, there is a fucking best-selling novel waiting to be written.
It'd be like
here, right now.
The South Park episode where the homeless are taking over South Park, and
yes.
Goes like, but then the homeless started buying homes, and we didn't even know who was homeless and who wasn't anymore.
Night of the Living Dead, or
Night of the Living Homeless.
Living Homeless, not the dead. Yeah, it'd be just like that. But if you want to, I'm going to break our commandments, our Knacker in the Breeze commandment, to say that if you want to buy that idea as a film right, if you want to make a little film or a TV series, contact us at knackersinthebreeze@gmail.com.
As long as you always talk about Fight Club. No, not. As long as you never talk about Fight Club. But always talk about Knackers in the Breeze. And what are other commandments? Don't dilly-dally.
No,
I think you dillied and dallied a little bit there.
a lot. And we tried to
monetize the hypothetical situation.
Just did that. What else is there?
I haven't put them in stone yet, so maybe we should
put them in stone. Is that what you
maybe we should put them in stone. Maybe we should have some sort of referendum on what the rules should be, and if you break those rules, are you still going to be prime minister? You're not going to be prosecuted, or can you just go back into parliament? Wait, what am I talking about now?
What are you talking about? So it's fucking political stuff. I think that commandment number 6. Don't be political.
Don't prorogue the podcast.
Don't ever go dabble into politics or even drop a word like prorogue that we all only learned about 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Nobody'd ever heard of that word.
Never heard of it.
And now everybody's like, I'm going to prorogue that. Do you want a cup of coffee? Prorogue off. And it's like, stop it, Sheila. You only learned that word 3 weeks ago.
You're abusing your power by proroguing that coffee.
It's like, I'm tired. I'm proroguing work today. No, Jim. You can't pretend you've known that word your whole life. Prorogue off.
So, next bit of feedback.
I've got something written down here, by the way.
Okay. Is it relevant?
No. No, it says
Ryan is a dick and Barry's amazing.
Did I ever work this out? Did I ever tell you about it? I worked out how many minutes and hours of podcast episodes there'd been. Did I mention that?
Oh, no. Okay.
But this was back in June, so there'd been 19 published episodes. And at the time, there was 16 hours, 20 seconds, 16 hours, 28 minutes and 20 seconds of podcasting.
Okay.
But now that will be probably over 100 minutes. 100, yeah.
Right.
Which would be probably into the 20 hours.
Okay.
Basically, probably closing on 24 hours of published podcast speech.
Are you thinking like some people do like a 24-hour charity football match, don't they? Are you thinking about a 24-hour Next in the Breeze listening?
That's what I'm thinking. A charity listen to you for 24 hours. Could you imagine? Could you imagine anybody doing that? That's mental. So this is the thing, when you've done over 100 minutes of podcast, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's probably 18. We've probably done about 21, 22 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe more, actually, of podcast, of published. The stuff that you don't hear that's left on the cutting room floor, on the edit suite.
The DVD extras.
We're probably into the 36 hours of shit.
Double that.
Which is crazy. Really good for deep... ignore me. Ignore me.
Right. Last episode you did a game where it was either last episode or the episode before. It was whatever your name was matches your profession. Nominative determinism. Yeah. So I got a message from my friend Joe from Birmingham, He says, great episode, guys. Incidentally, I know an orthopedic surgeon called Mr. Lim.
Oh, that is my favourite feedback we've ever had. That's brilliant. Brilliant. I would have preferred that feedback if he'd said, I know somebody called Mr. Lim. Guess what he does?
Oh, fuck.
But Mr. Lim, I don't know, maybe like he's a sports scientist. Or maybe like he always goes out on a ledge.
He always has a shot in the dark about what people are.
He takes views that nobody else has at the time and really defends
bold
them.
views,
and it proves to be right most of the time. I did not word that correctly at all.
If my editing skills are amazing, I'll make that sound very good. But they're probably.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you won't. You won't be able to do anything with that.
We got a bit of feedback on Instagram from a company called I Edit Podcasts. He said,
"What are you? You've been doing it wrong for 23 hours straight."
He said, "First of all, I love the content. I love the implementation of music, and it's super funny. Honestly, the audio sounds great. You guys sound much better than a lot of podcasts."
Wow.
And that's someone who edits podcasts for a living. He's telling us that.
That's amazing. He just came out and said that.
Yeah, I can't remember how much I paid him to say. I mean,
was it £1 a word? I think bargain. Wow, that's really nice of him. What's his name?
So any other podcasts you listen to who don't really fancy doing the editing themselves, check out I Edit Podcasts on Instagram, and he gives a load of like decent tips and stuff on how to make podcasts sound better.
Shout out to that man.
Not that we need him because we're already perfect.
Wow, that's down to your bloody hard work, bloody hell.
And do you remember Unclassical?
Yes, love Unclassical.
Yeah, they listened to our episode where we answered a question from them.
Sure.
Which was the crotch rubbing one.
Sure.
And they said that just listen to the full episode. My boyfriend has the same response to our question. He would strap his arm inside his clothes and have a fake arm. What happens when you're found out? Wait, that's not your arm. What are you doing? How long have you been doing that? We're having lunch with my grandparents. Amazing episode.
Good. I got really engrossed in that and there was no more. There's no more of that story.
Sorry, we're so posh. Haha.
Did we mention that?
I don't think we did.
Okay, good. Because I don't want them to I thought when they said that, I thought, did we say that? That's good feedback.
Have I got any more? I think that's it.
I got some feedback for... Do you remember last time there was a... Well, as a man, you're the man that edits this. Do you remember a tin whistle?
Yes.
Do you?
I do. Whoever heard the tin whistle on the episode, I edited about 8 of them out.
Somebody said, I'm a huge fan of the impromptu tin whistle blowing in a moment of celebration. And for that person, this is for you. It's not a tin whistle because Ryan doesn't like them. This is a kazoo.
It's ever so slightly better. It's like instead of being punched in the eye, someone just punched me in the shoulder.
Yeah, that's not as bad at all, no.
With a taser.
That's worse. That's worse than being poked in the eye.
Punched in the eye.
Oh, punch, that's different. Well, that was from Jess, who always gives the best feedback. Always. That was probably the first positive one for a while.
Yeah, she's usually the bullshit Bobby. She usually sets us straight.
We need that. We really do.
Yeah. You need it.
Huh?
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 Sorry?
Don't make me get my kazoo out.
Let's listen up, Knackers in the breeze. Listen up, Knackers in the breeze.
So, on our podcast, we answer hypothetical questions, but we also have Barry's radio games. We don't have an official title for that yet, do we? What do you call them?
Radio brains.
Barry's radio games.
There isn't a name, obviously. Just Barry's radio games. We've done a lot of games.
Yeah, we have.
But they're still coming.
When did we start them?
Probably episode 6.
Yeah, so we've done maybe...
Over 20?
Maybe 21.
I want to get to 50 and then I'll release a book for Christmas. Called
A book of audio games.
I mean, an audio book.
Audio book, okay.
Behind the scenes, how I make them, how I do the soundtracks, loads of background details. This game's called Boring.
It's raining, it's boring.
Okay, so I tried to make even the intro song boring to reflect a lot of things going on. Lots of levels to this.
Okay, I'm excited about this boring game.
Are you really? So basically, there was a study done. It's already boring, isn't it? There was a study commissioned by an airline company.
Okay.
Don't know why they did that. But it was to find out the top 50 most boring things in British life. Okay? So there is a definitive list.
Is that to find out like why people would go abroad to get away from that?
No, I think it was just a bit of content marketing. They thought they can get some backlinks to increase their SEO on their website. I think. Bit of shareable content. So anyway, this game's called Boring. Well, I'm going to give you an item from this top 50 most boring things, okay?
Okay.
And very similar to a lot of the other games we've played, I want you to tell me whether it's more boring or less boring than the previous item, okay? So I'll give you one, then I'll give you another, and it's the second one I want you to guess whether it's more boring or less boring.
Okay.
Okay? Very easy. Here we go. And by the way, to make it extra special, I'm going to throw in one golden goose.
Ooh.
And it's an item that isn't in the top 50. And if you think it's not in the top 50, I want you to shout, boring. Okay? You can tell I'm making this up as I go along.
I should shout exciting.
Okay, shout that. Yeah.
Exciting.
Exciting.
That was meant to be Russell Brand.
Exciting.
Ooh, exciting.
It's him. That's very. That's him from sort of 2007.
Yeah.
He was that.
He's not camp, but
he's very camp. But then he was extra, like, my ball bag's a bit hair. Oh, hello. Oh, I don't know, darling.
That's actually quite good.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. Top 50 things from 2015 that are boring in British life. Okay, filing tax returns.
Okay. This is meant to be boring.
Okay, well that's right up your street because you're a fucking tax fiend, aren't you? I shouldn't have started with that. You love
You're a
that.
tax dodger, aren't you, Ryan?
You love that. Okay, waiting for a train. Is that more or less boring than filing?
That's less boring because you can like use your phone and listen to a bit of music, listen to this podcast, which I imagine a lot of people are waiting for the train doing. Whereas tax returns, it's going to distract you if you're doing on your phone or whatever, aren't you?
What are you talking about? Okay, I can reveal that you are incorrect. According to whoever these people are, they find waiting for a train more boring.
Fuck. This study is bull. I bet it was Thomas Cook. And that's why they fucking went under. We stay topical on this podcast.
Could be. Okay, waiting for a train. Next we have emptying the bins. Is that more or less boring than waiting for a train?
Less boring than waiting for a train.
It's less. So you think it's more exciting?
More exciting than waiting for a train. Waiting for a train, apart from if you're on your phone or whatever, you're not doing anything. You're just standing there. Whereas the bins, it's sort of exciting. Like you're grabbing the handles. Oh, is it going to break? Did we get cheap bin bags? Has the sun got on them? Oh, it didn't break! Yay!
Can I just say?
And then you get to throw it in. You can do it from a distance.
You've sold that to me. I agree with you actually now.
You've got to go and do it now.
I really do.
Should we pause the podcast and go and do it?
Yeah. According to this study, you're wrong.
I'm right.
You're wrong. But
I'm wrong?
You're wrong. It's more boring emptying the bins, according to these people.
Okay.
What
fucking exciting lives do they live?
But you just made it very exciting. And I will never change the bin in the same way again. Okay, you're not doing very well at the moment. Okay. Emptying the bins.
Rubbish after that.
Oh. Okay. Next one. So emptying the bins. Next one. Buying Calvin Klein boxes.
Oh, that's pretty fucking boring. I think I'd rather empty the bin.
Than
buy boxes. I don't know.
Calvin
I'm going to
Klein
say
boxes.
That's less boring, but it's not my opinion. I think people would find it more exciting buying boxes than it would be emptying the bin.
I can reveal that you're correct.
Yeah.
So that's 1 point to 2. Let's keep this fun and exciting, everyone. We're nearing the end.
Hopefully I can get more right than wrong.
Hopefully. Sitting in a waiting room.
Yeah, it just depends on how you do it. If you got your phone, then it can't be too boring. I reckon people aren't taking the phone into context. So I think they're going to say buying boxes is more exciting. So
you're right. Yeah, you're right. Well done. That's 2-2. So tiebreaker. Okay. Next one. Playing conkers on the playground.
Exciting.
Well done. Yay. You found the golden goose. Okay. That's not even in the study. Correct. That's 3 points to 2. And we're down to the final question. We're going to go back to the real one, which was sitting in a waiting room. This is to win 4-2 or draw 3-all. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Do I get away goals?
No. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Being on hold.
Oh, that's probably the most boring. Yeah, no, that is more boring. What am I supposed to say? What's more boring or
Is that more boring or more exciting?
That's more boring
than
than all of them. And you can't even probably use your phone, can you? Because you're on hold.
That's very, very true. Well reasoned. So you think that's more boring than sitting in a waiting room?
Yes.
You are correct. And you've won 4-2. Okay, well done. What a game. That wasn't in the least bit boring. Do you want to know the number one? The most boring thing in life?
Go for it.
Being stuck in traffic.
Oh no, that is fucking boring.
Because I disagree, because I think you've got your radio on, you've got your music, you've got your Pepsi Max, you're loving life.
I think if you're stuck in traffic in an automatic car, it's a lot less...
That's nothing to do with boring.
No. When I'm stuck in traffic in a manual car, you have to put it into first, clutch off.
I know, but can you say what you're doing?
Into second, and then back into neutral.
The only thing more boring than being stuck in traffic is having someone describe being stuck in traffic.
In an automatic, I wouldn't have to use the clutch. It's the only time I pick an automatic over a manual.
Glad you cleared that up. Okay, my few little favourites from this list. One of them that I like is new mums on Facebook who constantly upload pictures of their baby. Quite harsh from people there. That's number 28. This is a great one. People telling you about their dream. That's the 47th most boring thing about life. Places without Wi-Fi.
I don't know how to describe that. It's
I know.
Like a boring thing. That's just an annoying thing that
Like,
exists.
happy birthday, Ryan. I got you a bouncy castle, you got a ball pit, I got you an ice cream trifle cake, I've got all your family and friends here, and a wall that you can just paint with whatever colours you want. But there's no Wi-Fi.
Fuck this party.
This is boring.
What flavour ice cream is it? Raspberry Ripple.
Boring! This is the 39th most boring thing in life. Yeah, so there we go. Well done. Thanks for playing. Boring.
It's raining, it's pouring. Boring.
Hitler continues the bombardment of the south coast of England in the Battle of Britain. Countless men, women and children have been civilian casualties of the Luftwaffe's strategic bombing. Not knowing how to combat the enemy, Prime Minister Churchill sends a coded message to Knackers in the Breeze to find out what Ryan and Barry would rather. Here in MI5 with the latest technology, Allied intelligence manages to contact Knackers in the Breeze by sending a voice recording to their Facebook page, and also by sending a DM to their Instagram handle, Knackers in the Breeze Podcast. Godspeed, Barry and Ryan. The future of Britain depends on you.
Right, we've got a question in that's very interesting. I think if we answer it next episode, it'll be a lot more exciting if we just come up with it at the top of our heads. So this is what we've been sent.
Hey, Barry and Ryan. This is Iggy from Kingsland, Georgia. If you guys were professional wrestlers, what would your names, your intro music, and your finishing moves be?
That's an excellent fucking good question. It's a really good question because I already know. I already bloody know. I've always known. I've just been waiting for someone to ask me, and they've only just asked me. I think you will be quite good at this because you are a wrestling fan, aren't you? Or were?
I was in, the old WWF days.
Like all
before,
8-year-old boys.
Yeah.
Do
you know what?
Do they still like it?
I very recently bought a WWF DVD. The old ones.
DVD.
Yeah, it's from the Attitude Era, which was about like 1998 to like 2002, 2001 or something like that.
Is that when they still use barbed wire and shit?
Yeah.
Those are the days.
Yeah, I love that, and it got a bit more tame after that, and a bit boring in my opinion.
Wasn't it when the pandas got involved?
Yeah. So
ever since WWF?
Yeah, the World Wildlife Federation or something like that. They got involved and they had to change their name to WWE. And also, like, Vince McMahon had bought WCW, which is their rival. So once they bought it, they had like no competition, so that kind of went downhill a bit in quality. But I think if it was still like the old days, I'd probably still watch it.
I think so too. I mean, I didn't really get into it. Really, it kind of passed me by. But I've watched a lot of the old shit back, and I love the glory days.
Yeah,
you told me to watch certain matches, and like the Undertaker Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I think even just
greatest things I've ever seen.
I think even like a lot of sports things do like a little montage before. So like if Liverpool played Man United or whatever, they'll have like a little montage of their rivalry and all their past, like when Liverpool's won, Man United's won, or whatever. And then like a boxing one, they'll have like McGregor against Mayweather, the little rivalry they built up. The best montage is The Rock versus Stone Cold. I can't remember. It was WrestleMania 17 or 16 or something like that. I think I played you it, and this is when you weren't into like wrestling or whatever. I was like, just watch this, and you were like, okay, I'll watch it. And you come out of it, and you were like, that's fucking amazing. That's really good.
Hyped.
Yeah,
hyped.
So I'll maybe I'll put a little link to that in
put a
the
link to
episode notes. So
and
check that out. Check out the episode notes.
So the one thing I've always liked as a third party spectator with not a lot of skin in the game of wrestling is the intros.
Yeah.
Because that's its own little thing. You know, like coming into the arena and people lose their shit when they recognize the song, or they're like, oh my God, it's this. And everyone sings a lot. That's epic. So I can't wait to reveal my song.
And we went on a stag do so Josh, who was on a couple of episodes that we've recorded, he came on as a guest, and his brother is a professional wrestler. We went on a stag do with him and Josh and a few of our other friends, and I got talking to Josh's brother about, I'm sure he probably won't mind me mentioning, his name's Jordan Breaks.
Boom.
In Brighton Wrestling, and we just got to talk about wrestling and how he's like developing his character and stuff. It's just got really interesting.
Yeah, he's my favourite wrestler.
He is actually really fucking good. I'm not even like saying that.
No, he is. He wouldn't be going as far as he's going now, would he? If he wasn't, he's definitely talented.
Yeah, there's videos and stuff of YouTube, and it's just like he's much more athletic than even just like standard WWF. Old WWF.
I never realised how much work went into it. Really, I really had no idea. It's like you got to work on your brand, but also your physical, like your dexterity.
Yeah,
and the pain threshold must be quite high. You've got to be fucking a bit mental, really.
Yeah.
To throw yourself around and get hurt. And I saw a picture of him getting hit with a keyboard.
Yeah. And
which is a great photo, but absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Like full on slapped around the face with a keyboard, and all the buttons have flown off everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is...
So obviously, like, wrestling is kind of like entertainment. It's not really real, but a lot of it is they're actually hitting each other.
Entertainment. And I feel, what a legend. I couldn't do it. I'm too weak in soul, heart, and strength.
Or couldn't you do it if I bring my wrestling persona next episode?
Well, next episode, I'm going to have
to... Make our own little promo.
I'm going to become my own little...
That should be quite good. Yeah, so that was an exciting question. And yeah, if anyone wants to ask in more questions like that, rather than like would you rather questions, then feel free. We can always try and set something up for next episode.
I bring it up every time, but we did say 15 episodes ago that we weren't just going to be a Would You Rather podcast. We haven't quite got there yet.
Yeah.
But with questions like that,
there's
only one way we can
go.
So
any sort of hypothetical situation or anything.
It's fun. It's fun. It's just fun to do, isn't it? It's a little respite away from the real world.
Yeah.
You can just throw yourself wholeheartedly into a whole new world that you've created in your brain. That's the magic of podcasts.
Welcome to the best automotive podcast, Baked Beans and Windscreens.
Welcome, car enthusiasts. Today we'll be reviewing the Maibatsu Thunder. It has a large boot space that can easily fit a medium-sized chest of drawers. The ride is also very comfortable. It's like straddling a cloud. The interior, however, is not soundproof, so people will hear you crying over your failed marriage, and the low-quality carpets will absorb tears. Also a downside, the windows will provide high visibility into the car from the outside, so it's not ideal for dogging connoisseurs among you. Join us next time as we test drive the Reliant Robin limousine.
I've got a little question for you here. Recorded some time ago, but not too long ago.
Hi mate, just wandering around, stumbled across a tree with conkers at the base of it, and I picked one up and it reminded me that conkers, the sport or hobby, famous pastime of the 20th century for schoolboys everywhere, was banned in the early 21st century in lots of schools in the UK. And I hear what your thoughts are. Do you think it was the right thing to do, or do you think it was the wrong thing to do? Bye!
I don't know how to sign things off, so I usually just say things like, bye. So yeah, honestly, I haven't seen conkers for a long time. I know it sounds weird, but I had not seen a conker. So
you hang around a lot of playgrounds, so
yeah,
you would see them.
Two things I can vouch for: kids don't play with them anymore, and there aren't any conkers near their schools. So I don't know, maybe because they banned conkers. Do you remember that?
I remember a lot of schools saying they banned conkers, and then they allowed them again. And I think our school banned them when I was in primary school or something like that.
Mine certainly did,
but then they didn't, and
I think they are unanimously banned.
I don't see a massive problem with it. I think it's it's a nice little pastime. I'm sure other countries do it as well, but it's like, very British thing to do, isn't it? Play a little conkers in the playground, and as long as you do it safely, then I don't see a massive problem with it.
For people
worst going to happen is you're going to get a little rap on the knuckles.
For people out there that don't know how to play conkers, is
there
anyone that doesn't know?
I imagine so. Yeah.
Is it global? Do they have?
They might not have conkers in their country.
Chestnut trees in other.
So conker's like a really, what is it? Is it a seed or
chestnut
a nut?
Seed.
It's like a really hard
is
nut.
Is it a chestnut? It's not, is it? Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
You don't eat conkers, though, do you? I don't know.
I think you can. I don't know. This is bad. I don't know.
Okay, so they might be called something in other countries, but here they're called conkers, and you drill a little hole through the center of it and tie some string to it, and then how do you describe that? It's kind of like use it as like a little projectile pendulum missile, and hit it at the other conker.
Bang it on their conker, which also is hanging off a bit of string.
So you're trying to break their conker, and then they have a go and try to break yours, but whoever's conker breaks, they lose. So you try and get like what you'd consider the most toughest conker, which usually are the bigger ones. And my brother had a load of other like techniques he was using, like putting it in vinegar.
That's a big one, not allowed, by the way.
Oh,
really frowned upon.
Well, I think he went more underground.
The cheating
street conkers.
The bastard. He's one of those.
Yeah, he did the street countdown and the street conkers.
Well, that's the equivalent of looking after an egg and treating it like a baby and hard boiling it so it doesn't break.
Oh yeah,
it's just the same as that.
I can't remember if I'd ever had to do that at school, look after an egg or whatever.
I did. Yeah, I definitely did. I did hard boil it.
Yeah. Do they not crack it afterwards to make sure?
Yeah.
And then you were like...
Well, I told everybody that I'd done it.
You never said you can't boil your baby.
Yeah. Well, I think I came in like Billy Big Bollocks into school and was like, guess what I fucking did last night, boys? Hard boiled it, didn't I? And then word travels, like he was like, look at this bad boy, word travels. And then the teacher found out and was like, Barry, have you hard boiled it? And I went,
yeah, and what?
Yeah.
And it was like, he's our new king now. King of the playground, man.
If we became zombies, we'd probably make him a zombie king right now. Then the teacher just went, oh, well then you're out then. And I went, okay. And that was it.
Where's that in the rule book? Show me the rule in the rule book. Get a new rule book.
I think it explicitly said, here's your eggs.
Don't hardboil them.
Keep them over the weekend, but you're not allowed to hardboil them. Tapped my nose twice, looked around the room, went, we'll see.
There's a loophole here that I'm going to exploit.
Didn't say I could part boil them, did he? And that was it really. Fun story, that. What were we talking about? Conkers.
Conkers. So what do you think? Do you think conkers should be banned?
No. I don't think it's banned in every school, but I think a lot are. And I think if a kid gets...
I think it's lazy just banning conkers.
Yes. Teach kids to play properly.
Yeah, just teach them a little bit about safety.
Wear some goggles.
Yeah.
Also...
Get the Goggs when you're conkin.
Never heard anybody say that sentence before.
I'm spreading that sort of catchphrase. Get the Goggs when you're conkin.
Get your goggles. Get your goggles when you're conkin. Get your goggles when you're conkin. Conkin through the night.
We listen to our charity single about getting your Goggs when you're conkin.
And I genuinely forgot what we were talking about. Because all I could hear is that Goggs when you're conkin song.
Conker's safety.
Yeah, conker safety. I think we are talking about the big issues in the world. I think if a kid gets a conker to the face and gets a bit of a bruise, or he gets it on the knuckle or whatever, there's an accident, conker shrapnel goes in his nasal passage, it's not that big a deal. He won't die, and he or she will learn a valuable lesson.
Yeah, it's mainly just like little scratches and stuff. And it never happens. It's like freak accidents of like stuff like that.
You just don't play with that kid again.
One kid gets like a scratch, and then an overbearing parent is like, this needs to change.
Yes. And I just think, no, Shaniqua, you need to change, okay? Because there's nothing wrong with a scratch. It's character building.
Isn't Shaniqua your mum?
Yeah. My fiction.
Did your mum get conkers banned in all of our schools?
Yeah, and I've been rallying for it to change.
Bloody hell, Shaniqua.
Because I thought one day I'm going to be an adult and I'll be able to change policy, and that's what I try to do now.
You're trying to get into politics. You're trying to
I'm trying
climb your way up the political ladder, and then once you're in power,
conkers for everyone.
That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to stand up.
Get your conks.
I'm going to stand up in the House of Commons. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You're right, honourable gentleman. Thank you for letting me speak. Free conkers. Okay, I couldn't think what to say.
The Right Honourable Gentleman Barry, please leave the House of Commons as you have used vinegar for your conker.
And I'll get dragged out kicking and screaming.
It's not the rule book! Where's the rule book? I hard-pulled it as well!
I challenge you, it's a conker fight!
Ryan and Barry, would you answer this, please? I've got a dilemma for Knackers in the breeze. It plays on my mind and it keeps me awake. Would you ease my nerves, oh please, for goodness sake? Would you like to have a finger for a tongue? What's the largest thing you put up your bum? With kisses, would you smother the father? Would you rather with a noose? Would you rather be hung?
Right, we've got a question in from Extreme Horror Replay Podcast, which is horror review podcast. So if you're into horror, then this is the place to go, along with our friends Radio Nasties.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, they've got that horror, between the two of them, they've got the horror scene covered.
So Ben from Extreme Horror Replay has asked us, would you rather... I think this is the first would you rather question of the whole episode.
Well, that would be the first... We nearly made an entire episode with that one. That would have been a huge moment. That really was. Fuck.
Right. Would you rather be invisible but vomit visibly every 3 minutes and always have contents in your stomach, or be visible but have nauseating audible farts every 5 minutes? You're visible.
It's a classic
but
would you rather
fart
question.
every 5 minutes. Invisible but vomit every 3 minutes.
Even when you're sleeping?
Yeah, imagine so. You'd have to sleep on your side.
Feel like you can't just be vomiting every 3 minutes for your whole life.
I think
What kind of existence is that?
we've all been that drunk where we've had to vomit quite a bit.
Unfortunately.
And you've got to the bit where there's nothing else coming out and you just go,
oh yeah, awful.
I know you
Awful
said there's always contents in your stomach, but even just vomiting 3 or more times, it starts to burn, it hurts.
It's
and
making me feel sick thinking about it.
and
That horrible feeling.
I genuinely get like a little bit like, not scared, but I anticipate the next vomit coming and it's
Definitely.
horrible. It's like, God! And then you do it and it's like, you can't breathe. And then your eyes are watering and you've got to do that every 3 minutes. But you're invisible!
Yay! Think of all the things I can do for 2 minutes until they see the sick. Yeah, because I feel like...
I'm in the girls' locker room.
Wait, what was that?
Yeah, you're right. You couldn't go anywhere or do anything. Like, I'm going to break into the White House and see what Trump gets. There's nothing you could do. Could you? Could you
become a really shit superhero?
wear a feed bag like horses wear? So when you're sick, it
Like it goes over your ears and just hangs
Wrap
down
it.
in front of your face?
Yeah, and it fills up with sick, but it's such a big capacity it can hold maybe 30 bits of sick, which means, what's that? 30 times 3. So you got an hour and a half of pure invisibility. But you are carrying around a massive face bucket of sick, and you have to empty it every hour and a half.
Can people hear you vomit as well?
Yes.
Didn't really get into that, but
I think so. Yeah.
I think he said audibly, didn't he? I know audibly. Fart.
Can they see the sick though? Because I imagine they can. Does it
You
leave
can
your
see
body?
the sick, but then if you have that little feed bag thing that you're wearing, I imagine anything you're wearing is also invisible. So
But I imagine he is
maybe
the
that's a little
worst.
loophole.
He's
there.
the worst superhero of all time. The invisible. What's his name? So it's definitely a horse feed bag like they wear. Someone draw a picture of him.
Be like superhero with a 6-pack, but he's sick pack man.
Sick pack. Sick. Yeah, I like that. I do like sick pack. Yeah, sick pack.
Here comes Vomitron. I will save. I will save you. I'll save you in the next 2 minutes and 56 seconds.
I'm on 27.6. I really haven't got long left till I have to empty the sick bag. Hurry up. I'm on 28. 6 minutes and this is going to start overflowing.
Where's Vomitron? I can't see him. How long's it been? Yeah. He's over there.
There he is. There he is.
Oh, he's gone again.
He's dripping from his bag.
Right, so the other option was be visible but have nauseating audible farts every 5 minutes.
I think to be
Do you reckon this is some sort of shit duo where
it could be.
He's farting every 5 minutes, but sometimes it takes a minute to hit him.
It's like
2 minutes to
hear no
for him to
evil,
smell
see
it.
no evil.
Yeah.
Just like
So one of them's like Gene Wilder and the other one's Richard Pryor.
So Richard Poor and Gene Wilder. That's one of the worst things I've ever said. That's shit. Yeah, they're a bit. I think he must. Who is this?
Smell
again?
some evil, vom some evil.
That works better. That works better.
Right.
And yeah, right. And
pitch this to the marketing team.
I think what's good about there's nothing good about just so wait. So sorry, you're visible.
You're visible,
and you do nauseating farts every
5 minutes.
So it's just a shit.
You got a longer.
But it's just a horrible life.
Yeah, it is a horrible life. But imagine farts often don't hurt, do they? Whereas vomits rarely don't hurt.
I know, but you'd have no social life, no friends, no family. No one would go near you.
You'd have none either way, wouldn't you? I mean, most of the time, your friends wouldn't even know you were there until you vomit every 3 minutes.
I don't know. Vomitron could actually do good in the world, couldn't he? And yes, he
Possibly.
could. He could fight crime for an hour and a half bursts at a time, and I feel he could at least get some notoriety and some positivity, like some friends, kind of through that. Farty man.
You get some friends with some very weird fetishes.
Yes, he could. Actually, there are people out there that like the dirty fart. Well, there's probably somebody without a sense of smell who would like him. So actually,
Anosmia.
Anosmia.
Yeah.
Yes, that goes
you
full
can get
circle.
the girl who can't smell.
Yes.
Be friends with her.
Check that podcast out, The Girl That Can't Smell. Maybe if she's listening, let us know. Which would you rather be? Because you can't smell your own farts.
But you can be invisible and vomit everywhere. But at least you won't be able to smell that either.
So she's never smelled a fart.
No.
She has no idea what they smell like.
No.
I know they're all different to some extent, but there is a general fart smell. That's interesting that she's never smelt one.
Yeah.
But also never smelt a rose.
No.
I'm not going to list all the things that she hasn't smelled. There's a lot of things.
Or a dirty sock.
Dirty sock, horrible. Fresh cut grass, nice.
Or cocaine.
Does it have a smell? I don't know. Nor will she. She won't know either.
Right. So if you guys want to check out Extreme Horror Replay.
Can I just
say? They are an American horror review podcast.
Normally, the questions from the podcast are usually themed around something that the podcast is related to. That wasn't particularly horror related.
No, and we were supposed to do a theme this episode, wasn't we? Because it was
war.
The war.
That's why I have my war question.
Yeah.
What is it good for?
I massively forgot about that. Oh well. Yeah, so check those guys out and we will see you in the next episode.
This is Zach from the Stupid Stuff We Talk About podcast. You have listened to another exceptional podcast episode of Knackers in the Breeze. If you want to ask Ryan or Barry a question, send a voice note via private message. Just search for Knackers in the Breeze on Facebook or at Knackers in the Breeze podcast on Instagram. Join them again soon in their quest for philosophical enlightenment.
Masterpiece movie reviews. Masterpiece movie reviews. Son of Widow. Scooby Dooby.
It's so shit.
Masterpiece movie reviews.
Was it? Yeah, we found more, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it's on like YouTube now. I'm not sure. We definitely. Yeah, there's a backlog of it.
The gay trick is one of the worst things I've ever seen. Has not aged well.
I do kung fu.
It's so like just ignorant, immature, offensive.
These were like grown. They was probably like our age, maybe even like early 30s and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just because nothing was on the internet back then.
Yeah.
So any sort of like person who could do Flash animation
Celebrity.
was just like, yeah.